Screen, please. Oh, great, great, great. This evening, I'm sure you've heard about resume gaps, resume gaps. What do they mean? We are going to be demystifying everything, what they mean, what it entails, how it should be in your resume, what to say during the interview. So, if you have anyone that should be on this call that is not yet, please do well to send them a message. Tell them to be here because this is important. This is what they need to break through their career gap, especially if they have a gap in their resume. Please tell them to be here and please do well to note down your questions. When it's time for me to take them, I'll be sure to take them. So welcome once again. If you have any reason, please do well to note it down. So who am I? In just few minutes. My name is Professor Misty. I'm a geoscientist and a career coach with over 4 years of experience. Um, with over 4 years of experience in transforming job search experience, creating and personified career roadmap for job seekers, and I'm also an employability advocate for people. So because we are not dwelling on me, I would have to skip this part and focus to the main session, which is what are we going to be discussing today? Remember, I talked about the topic, which is how to confidently talk about gaps in your resume. So once again, if you have anyone that's today, please do them this favor by sending them this link and compelling them to be here because they really have to be here this evening. It's very important that they have to be here, especially if you've taken the immigration route, you want to travel, and there's one break or the other in your resume, you have to be here. This is for you. So, briefly, what are we going to be talking about today? The first is we're going to be talking about why resume gaps are no longer the deal breaker, unlike the way they were before now pre-COVID time, the way they were with this receptive way of having resume gaps in your CV and all of that. The second is most common types of gap, the resume gap confidence framework, where and how to address this gap, words and phrases that work if you have this gap in your CV. And this is why I said you have to invite everyone that should be here. Turning this gap, how you can turn this gap into strength and how talents can help you bridge the gap. So, why are these gaps no longer a deal breaker? Before now, people believe that, oh, this gap, okay, please give me a second. I was just told that my video is supposed to be on. Please give me a second. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Oh, okay, that's good to know. My apologies for the short break. So I'll just take it back to why these resume gaps are no longer a deal breaker. Please, in case I'm too fast, please do well to notify me in the chat box so I can take it at your own pace and you don't get to miss anything at the end of the day. So, before COVID, what people believe that once you have a gap on your resume, there's this like dent it creates a sense of laziness, incompetence, lack of ambition, and all sorts. And people believe that, oh, recruiters on the other end, they don't care about it, they don't want to see it. What it means to them is, oh, like it screams like a red banner on the resume, and they are like a no applicant that they don't want to bring on board. But the truth is, different things can happen. It could be layout, it could be relocation, it could be maternity leave, it can be as simple as mental health breakdown, maybe transition in career that you really have no control of. But on the other end, what recruiters tend to see, or what they even think is, oh, we want to see an evidence of growth, we want to see clarity, we want to see enthusiasm to return to work, as opposed to what job seekers tend to see. And the truth is, your resume gap doesn't really hurt you. It doesn't really hurt your personality as a person on your CV, because if you can explain it, you don't even need to have to do too much, because over time people now have resume gaps on their CV, and the most important thing is to be able to explain it well, to be able to talk about it confidently. That is what matters. If you can explain it well and they can say that, oh, truly you want to resume back to work, or you resume back and there's nothing happening, they can tend to fly over or just overlook it. So having clarity, honesty, evidence of growth, enthusiasm to resume back to work. That is what matters, as opposed to the traditional way that we tend to see resume gaps. So, moving on to the next is, what are these common types of resume gaps? We know we have resume gaps, but what could have happened? Why do people have resume gaps on their CV? What could have happened along the line? One of it can be maybe caring responsibilities. Maybe you need time to take care of a family. As a woman, maybe it can be as simple as maternity leave. I needed 6 months or 9 months to take a career gap just to take care of my kid. It doesn't make me less of a person. It does not mean that I lack ambition, just in that I needed time to attend to something important. It can also be taking care of an aged parent or a sick family member, as the case may be. So the second one can also be layoff or redundancy. Companies now lay people off, not because those people don't know what to do or they don't know how to do their job well, but then we
Hello.
have economic downtown. It happens at every point in time. Samuel, you are trying to say something.
Yeah, I came here
Please go
for,
ahead.
yeah, thank you very much for giving me opportunity to go ahead. I came here for 2023 for a job, and then I worked about 6 months, and then our company, they took their
Okay.
license, they took their license, and then they stopped me to work, and then we'll be run. I just get off from the work. They're saying that I don't have career to work for any company unless I have a switch for another company. And we'll try it. People are collecting our money. Last of couple of 3 months ago, we pay 4,000, and then they put me to job at through job at. I went to a lot of interviews. They are not giving me the switch. Like I don't know. I'm even fed up
Hello,
because
Samuel. Can you hear me?
yeah.
Okay. So I hear you, Samuel. I understand what you are saying. Please, do you want to note down your question and drop it in the chat box? Because there are other people on the call We don't want to keep them waiting. So at the end of this call, I will be available to take all your questions and I'll be sure to answer them. Is that fine with you?
Yeah, I know it, but I just want you
All
people
right.
to
Thank
help
you,
me.
Samuel. Yes, I would note that. So I'll need you to listen
So
well,
it left
please. Note
it
down
just
your question.
it just left 6 months.
What is it?
It left six.
I'm going to talk about that, Samuel, and I'm going to attend to you. Just please be patient, here with me. And if you know anyone that is also supposed to be here that you feel might have these questions or one question or the other that they need answer to, please send them this link. Tell them to join, and we'll be sure to answer all your questions. So, moving on to what I was saying about layoff and redundancy. Another type of resume gap can be as a result of layout of might be as a result of layoff and redundancy. It doesn't mean that it doesn't make you less of an employee or someone that doesn't know what you're doing. It can be as a result of the company going through financial crisis, restructuring, business closures, and all of that. Another reason for common resume gaps can also be as a result of relocation. Let's say you're moving to a new city or you're traveling somewhere, you would actually have gap on your resume and doesn't mean that you don't know what you're doing or something. Another reason can be further education or training. Maybe you decide that I want to get my master's degree. I need 2 years off to do that. I want to get a certification. I need time to focus. Another reason can be personal or health related. Maybe maybe the applicant is sick and needs time to take care of their health, maybe because of burnout or maybe personal loss or something. Another and the last but not the least on my list here is upskilling and freelancing. People take career gaps to upskill and maybe attend to freelance or something pending the time that they are ready to get back to work. It doesn't mean that they don't know what they are doing. And there's a research was conducted by LinkedIn Workforce in 2024, and they discovered that over 50% of professionals globally have had at least one career gap in the past 5 years. So you see, you are not alone in this. Nobody is alone. Everyone has passed through this stage at one point in time or the other. So I want you to know that it's not just you, you're not here alone. People have been here, they've been here and done that. So it's how you explain this gap in your resume that matters the most. So moving on to where and how can you address these career gaps? Let's say you have about 1 year or 6 months or 2 years or 3 years, as the case may be. How, where can you address these career gaps? Please confirm you are where my slide is so I can proceed. If you can still see my screen, please give a thumbs up. Brilliant. Thank you. So the first thing to do, if you have this career gap, there's no need to panic. There's no need to lie or something. Be honest with them. This is what it is. Give a straightforward and a clear response. We'll get to that, and I'll tell you how you're going to be about that. The second one is in your CV summary. The summary, the career objective, the professional summary, as the case may be. Just briefly, in a line or two, explain how your gap has added value to you or how your career gap has added value to you, as the case may be. Also, in your cover letter, maybe in a paragraph, just certainly explain, oh, you took a gap, this is that, to attend to that. In the process of a gap, you've been able to gain this or that, as the case may be. Also, in your LinkedIn about section, you may want to include why you actually took a career gap. Just briefly explain it. Like, what did you learn during that period? Let's say you were taking a master's degree. You may want to talk about it, like, what did you learn? How did you grow? And how has it shaped your value? Because they would see it and they know. So it's just best to just put it there briefly to talk about the positive sides and rather than just ignoring and believing that they will not say it. So another another way to address it would also be in your during your interviews, when you're being called for interviews, like, oh, you saw this, what were you doing from this period to that time? You might just want to briefly and follow just a simple framework. Just be honest with them. Oh yes, I took a career gap. This happened. What did you do? You show an evidence of growth, that while you were aware, maybe you gained this, you learned that, or something as the case may be, and linking how you can bridge your gap to the current role you're applying for. Remember that the most important thing to do is you want to practice this over time. You want to be used to it, that you can comfortably talk about it without sounding too artificial, and you can comfortably talk about it well. Please confirm you can still hear me. If you can, please give me a thumbs up. And if you have questions, please do well to note them down. I'll be sure to take them after the session. So, the resume gap. So, I call this, how can you now fix this career gap if you have it in your resume? Remember, I said be honest with them. Give a clear, simple reason why did you have the gap. You don't have to like state too much or something. Let them just have an idea of just a simple line, clear, straightforward, simple, not ambiguous, not trying to paint a scenario that literally did not exist. Show an evidence of growth. Like, what did you learn during the gap? What did you do? What did you achieve during that process? Or what you doing? It doesn't necessarily have to be like a certification. It can also be through soft skills, as the case may be. So another thing you want to do is to bridge the gap. How can you connect this gap to the job or the role you want to apply for at the moment? You get. So remember, I was talking about this. I was giving examples one off here and there, and I said I was still going to talk about it. So look at these three, for example. So I highlighted three examples here for you to see. So one of it here is, I took time off after my role was made redundant. Remember, I said at times people have gaps in their resume because of layoff and redundancy. It doesn't mean that they don't know what they are doing, but layoff can happen maybe because the company decide to restructure, or they're experiencing financial crisis and they can't cater for their overhead as they would originally. So look at this, for example. One of this is, I took time off after my role was made redundant. During that time, I focused on strengthening my skills in Excel, Power BI. I'm now excited to apply for I'm now excited to apply those skills in fast-paced data-driven team. This is, if you look at this person stated that he took career gap, even though his role was made redundant and he had to take a career gap because of that. He was still making good use of that time to learn a skill that he can now apply to the role he wants to apply to. I don't know if you get. The second one is, oh, following my brief career break during which I learned Tableau, I'm not excited to apply my skills there. There. And the third one is, oh, after my 6 months break, which was due to relocation and personal development, I'm now re-entering the workforce with enhanced SQL and data visualization skills. So remember, I said that you can have a career break because of relocation. So this is an example of what I talked about. So then, moving on, what are the do's and don'ts of having this career gap? Like, me, if you have them, what should you do? What are the things that you should not even dare try at all? So the first do is like, keep your explanation, keep it brief but relevant, simple but relevant. Focus on the value added. Maybe, or maybe you something could have happened. You don't want to expose them to the details, irrelevant details of it. You just need to keep it simple. Keep your explanation simple. Focus on the value that was added to you and the growth, not the whole story or explanation around it. And transition quickly. Like, as we're talking about that, let them also see that you are enthusiastic about the new role you want to apply to. You don't want to go into stories of Oh, I was having a mental health breakdown, that I needed to rest. I don't even know, this work now, we just have to make money. No, you don't want to say something like that. You want to be brief. Oh, I had this break. While I had this break, I was learning this skill, but then I'm eager to come back to the labor market. I want to, put in the skills that I've learned. I want to utilize it to work. I want to put it to work and all of that. You want to show them that enthusiasm to resume back to the labor market. So, what should you not do when you have this resume gap? The first thing is you don't have to apologize about it. I mean, it happens to people. There's no need to apologize or sound unsure that I know this is not the be sorry for all those things, and you should not sound unsure. You want to assume confidence. Just talk about it briefly. The second thing is you don't want to overshare personal or sensitive information. The third is you don't want to use vague words, filler words, or phrases as the case may be. And don't dwell too long on it. Like move to the next thing, show your enthusiasm and forget about it. So I have an example here that I stated here, which is if you look at this first one, it is, oh, I was unemployed and didn't do much professionally. No, as opposed to I used that time to reflect and invest in upskilling, and now I'm ready to contribute to a growth focused team. Simple, brief, concise, showing enthusiasm into the new role that you want to apply to. If you can still hear me, please note down your questions so at the end of this session we can take them. So then, how can you now turn these gaps into strength? You know that yes, you can have these gaps because of different things. Anything can happen. Your company can decide to restructure and lay you off. You can relocate. You might want to do different things. You might just want to take a break because you are having a baby. So, but then how can you now turn these gaps into strength? We'll be looking at two areas, about three areas. The first is highlighting your certifications and volunteering. Second is the soft skills. And the third is using storytelling. So I'll go back to the first two, talk about it well, and see how we can now turn our gaps into our strengths. Remember, you can have these gaps. Anything can happen. You don't have to apologize about it. You just want to refine the moments and turn this gap into the strengths that you want to harness for your job application. So the first is highlight your certifications, volunteering, freelancing, or the side projects that you might have taken during this break. So, for example, if it's certification, my mom said to me, oh, I completed the Google Data Analytics certification and advanced my Excel skills during this gap. Volunteering, I want to say, oh, I helped an NGO to build out their data tracking system on a volunteer basis. Just something to show that while you were away from the workforce, you were utilizing your time well, you were doing something, you were engaged. Another thing I want to say, oh, I took on freelance design and analytics projects for small businesses during my project. I might also want to talk about the side projects that you did. Maybe you built a personal dashboard, maybe using Power BI to track of you. As the case may be, depending on what you want to showcase to them. But the most important thing is to highlight your situation, your volunteering roles, freelancing, and the side projects you did during this career break. So the next thing on turning your gaps into strengths is you want to showcase or spotlight the soft skills that you've been able to harness during this gap. Remember, I said it doesn't necessarily have to be like maybe a certification. or a degree, as the case may be. You can also showcase your soft skills. And what are these soft skills? Maybe resilience, adaptability, self-motivation, problem solving. So if you're looking at resilience, I want to say that, oh, I was able to adapt to unexpected situation. Maybe something happened, and maybe, or maybe you experienced a layoff. It's unexpected. You might just want to like showcase your resilience skill, that, oh, during this break, that, or during this time that my company had to lay me off, I built on my resilience skill. I was able to adapt to unexpected situations such as these. Maybe time management. I learned how to balance caregiving, freelance work, and some other thing. Maybe this might be useful for mothers, that nursing mothers especially might want to say something like, oh, I was able to learn how to balance caregiving with learning and freelance work and other things. You might also want to look at adaptability as a soft skill that you can harness during your career gap. Maybe, oh, adaptability, oh, I learned how to I was able to adapt to a new environment, switching careers, building new routines, as the case may be. Another thing might be for self motivation. You would also want to showcase that, oh, during this break, I worked on projects independently. I launched my personal brand to show your self motivation, that even though, even while you were away from the workforce, you were still self motivated, and you can transition into a new role with that, or you can resume back to the workforce with that same soft skill. So another that soft skill that you can also harness or showcase is problem solving. How you're able to manage finances, maybe handling family related needs, as the case may be. So there's a particular example that about to quote here that you can see. Oh, during my break, I strengthened my resilience and taught me how to manage multiple responsibilities. Let's say focused on personal development. Just something that you want to show that you were able to harness soft skills during that break. So another way, which is the last but not the least way that you can turn this gap into strength, is the use of storytelling to reframe the narrative. I said that um career breaks are not bad, and they are no longer a taboo as they were before, especially after COVID. And but then the way you talk about them will determine how it will be received or perceived by the recruiters or the other end. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So you want to use storytelling to show them that, okay, well, this has happened. But then how do you put it to them? You might want to talk about the context just briefly. Why did this break happen? Like, why did you have that gap? What did you do during that time? What did it teach you? And how can you now connect it to your goal? Or how can you now connect it to you resuming back to the workforce? So I have an example here that you might want to look at. So after being laid off, I took time to reassess my career. I enrolled in data science bootcamp, built a portfolio of projects, and volunteered with a new community to apply my new skills to them. And that experience reignited my passion for using data to drive social impact. So this is me now connecting my break, what I did, to the role I want to apply it's important to show them that enthusiasm, I can go back into the work, the career gap that you have in your resume. And but then, what worry about all of this when We can do that for our talent. Why do you have to stress yourself? Oh, how do I present all of this? How do I come up with this? How do I say to them? How do I present it in my resume? When we are talent to can do that for you. We can take off this done for you, and that's not all. And yes, the kicker, we can also take up the stress of application from you that you will not even need to do any application. All you just have to do is to come on board with us. We'll help you apply to 10 to 15 jobs per day, get you interviews, you get an offer, boom, you land your job. Remember that you might be busy, you work, you do a 9 to 5, you do other things, and you will not have that time to either explain a gap you have because you're worried about the current gap that you have on your resume, and also having to revamp your LinkedIn just as I talked about it, having to refine your cover letter for each of these applications. It will be stressful, and believe me, it might be a daunting task that might probably take all of your time. But we don't want you to worry about all of that. We just want you to sit back, relax, while we take up this stress we usually do. And but then, how do we do all of this? Revamp your CV and LinkedIn to enhance your profile, get more visibility, and in turn land you interviews. But then, how do we now land you interviews? We have to apply for 10 to 15 jobs per day to ensure that you are seen. Remember that it is a numbers game. The more roles you apply for, the higher the chances of landing an interview. And because we know that, so we take up that stress off you while we do that to help you manage the end to end. You don't have to leave a finger, and we guarantee you 3 interviews within 6 to 8 weeks of working with us. And even after that time you get those interviews, we don't just leave you to do them. Remember, I talked about how you can answer your interview and help you refine what you say. We prep you for interviews that will eventually land you that job. We don't need you to do all of these things yourself. And remember, we said, oh, we've been working for people, we've been doing different things for them. But this August batch, July slot is filled up already, even though this is just in July 5. We have a lot of people for July already, and the employability coaches have started working with them. But then for August batch, we only have just 10 slots left. And after that, then that will be all. We won't be taking anything again. And if you miss that August, it will be till September that to be able to apply. And I know that you don't want to wait till that time. We only have 10 slots left in August. But then you don't have to believe what I'm saying. And why believe what I'm saying? When you can see a testimonial from Ene. Ene joined us in January, but we didn't even start the applications until February because she paid in April and then landed multiple interviews, not just interviews. At the end of the day, she got offer. Not just any, we also have another person who's called Yetunde. Yetunde is Yetunde is a customer support specialist now in US, thanks to talent standing at that job. Just like you and every other person on this call, she came on board with us to say, oh, I want you guys to handle my application. She wasn't sure. She joined a session like this. We spoke to her about the advantage of joining. We took up her applications end to end. And at the end of the day, she got the job. You don't have to believe what I'm saying. All you just have to do is to look at the screenshots that she shared with us at the end of it, that I got the job. Yes, with that exclamation mark. Yes, that is what we can also replicate for you if you allow us to work with you. Another person that got something like this was Temida Young. One of our employability associates worked with her, and at the end of the day, she landed a Scrum Master role in Canada. Remember that we only have 10 slots in August. It is so tight because we know we want to give you value, because we know we want to get you value. We always constrain the number of people we work with because we want to give our clients value, we want to deliver results for them. So if you are seeing this now and you're having doubts, this is a call for you to register now. Check the chat section. The link would have been dropped for you to sign up. If you still have your questions, please note them down. After this, I will be sure to take them. We also have Messi Jimo, Christiana, and some other people. This is an interview invite. It's a snapshot of an interview invite from one of these clients. This is even recently. This person, Waliade, an interview is scheduled for July 8th. That is on Tuesday. And this, I promise you, this can be you. If only you work with us. Believe me, this is what our clients get. This is also the same what Waliade that got interview invites in June. She's not doing anything. All she just did was to subscribe to Talent Loop. And we took up that process end to end to apply for her. And this can be you if you let us work with you. So we have different packages for the August batch. We have the basic package. If you feel that, oh, I know how to do this application myself, I know what to do, I know how to go about it, and you just want us to work on your CV, your LinkedIn profile, and give you an idea of how to improve your job search and all of that, you can sign up for the basic package. It is just $50. Remember that I talked about the career gap, how you can explain this, how you can explain your career gap in experts on the other end. We will know how to talk about it better. Maybe know how you might. So if you just say that, oh, I can handle my application myself, you don't have to do that for me. I just want you to work on my LinkedIn and CV. We have that, which is the basic package, $50. The other one we have is the premium package. This is for targeted job applications. If you want us to handle your job applications, your CV revamp, your LinkedIn optimization, and help you land 3 interviews within 8 weeks, this is for you. You can click the link to register and sign up immediately. Remember that as you are on this call and someone has signed up already, and we have just 9 left. All we have left is 9. So if you miss out on this, you might have to wait till September, and I know you don't want to wait till September. So the last package, which is not the least, is our comprehensive package. This comprises of a professional CV revamp, the LinkedIn optimization, targeted job application. We would ensure that we will secure 3 interviews within 8 weeks. And at the end of the day, we will also prep you for these interviews. Everything you are going to say in this interview, we'll work with you to ensure that you ace this interview and you eventually land this dream job. Remember, I said we have 10 at the beginning, but believe me when I say one slot has been taken already, and we have 9. So if I were you, I'll go to that chat section, I'll click the link to register, and I'll sign up immediately to join the August batch. So thank you very much, everyone, for staying with me on this call. Please, if you have any questions, do well to raise your hand, and I'll be sure to take them. Please confirm you can still hear me. Okay. Comfort is saying something. Comfort said, is it only IT roles? No, not at all. Not just IT. If you're in care, maybe no, any role, project management, customer support, data analysis, customer representative, geoscience, engineering, law, accounting, any role. We don't restrict our applications to just IT. We have to switch any other role. Okay, so who else is trying to say something? Michael, please go ahead, Michael. Mitchell, rather. Mitchell, please unmute your mic. Mitchell, you are raising your hand. Please unmute your
Hello.
mic to ask your question.
Hi, can you
Hello,
hear me?
good evening.
Good evening, and thank you for
Yes, I
the
can hear you.
presentation. Okay, I said thank you for the presentation. It was very informative, and I learned quite a few stuff. My question is quite
Thank
straightforward.
you.
Um, um, how long does it take you to work with a client when the client pays for your service? As in, look for a job, revamp interview, LinkedIn
You want
optimization, and
to
all
take that
that.
again? I didn't.
Sorry?
And
Hello?
do you want to take your question again? I what you said. I can hear you now, but I didn't hear what you said earlier. Do you want to take it again?
Okay, sure. If I am clear enough now, I would want to know how long
Yes.
you take to, work with a client after the person has paid for a service, i.e., get look for a job, LinkedIn optimization, I mean CV revamp and all that.
Within 8 weeks. Okay.
Oh,
So our duration for working with clients for the CV revamp, LinkedIn optimization, the job applications, that will guarantee you 3 interviews within 8 weeks. 8 weeks you get it every day.
okay.
I
So,
hope I've answered your
um,
question.
y- yes, you have, because I was getting a bit worried. I had paid for that service, and I think I had one meeting with a career coach or something, and we're supposed to have another meeting, but that didn't happen. And I got a mail saying that you're working on it, and I'm supposed to hear from you within the shortest possible time. No timelines was given. So I just want to know if I am at the right place.
Yes, you are.
Okay, that's fine.
All right. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you.
Samuel was trying to ask a question before now. I don't know if he's still on the call. Okay, Esther, please go ahead.
Yeah, hello. So it was until now that I think that I'm maybe on the wrong side, because I'm supposed to be maybe onboarding today, which is July 5th for the July batch. So I don't know. So that's what I thought this call is for initially. So that's why I joined. And then coming here, I see that okay, it's for the next batch or just for new people. So yeah, I'm just confused on where to go from here as well.
Okay, please check your mail. I'm sure we would have sent you a mail notifying you of your application, especially if
Okay.
you're for the July.
So yeah, I checked my mail before I came in. I've been checking my mail. So the last thing I saw was to fill a form, which I did, and then I had someone talk to me about, okay, do I want anything further? And I was like, okay, whatever I want. I feel like we still have more time before the July 5th, since they said they'll be reaching out to me. And then they sent another mail to fill the form. And I clicked on the link and then it showed I've already filled. So I had to tell the person that, okay, this is the same link that was sent to me, which I already filled. So I checked my junks, everything. I still, like, there's nothing. The last thing I saw was to fill the form. And that was the last time I heard from someone.
Okay, apologies, Esther, that you're expressing this. So, if you don't mind, do you want to drop your full name on that section? I'll be sure to check
All right.
to understand what is happening, so that you get a mail before the end of today. Is that fine?
Yes, I've dropped it in the chat. Thank you.
All right. Okay. I don't know if Samuel is back on the call, the guy that was trying to ask the question initially. Okay, looks like he's no longer on the call. Okay, Mitchell, you have another question. Please unmute your mic.
No, it's an old hand. Sorry.
Oh, okay. No problem. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, looks like we've been able to attend to everyone. Razak, have you registered already? Yodon, have you registered? I hope you have signed up. Precious, if you want to join us for this August batch, I hope you signed up already. Okay, in the absence of none, I think we can call it a day. Please go ahead to sign up now. If you have any questions or if you need a private call with any of our career coaches, please do well to let us know and we'll be sure to attend to you. Please book a time. You will see a link in the chat section. Please do well to book a time if you need a session with a career coach to further clarify any question or any inquiries that you might have, and we will be sure to respond to you. So, in the absence of further questions, we would draw the curtains and call it a night. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining in this evening. We appreciate your time and we do not take you for granted. Do enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you.